everyone, we will pitch the product we've been building over the last few months. Our focus is on solving burnout among women in tech with a community-driven solution. My name is Yeon. I'm the product manager of 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗽, and we have Janice as our UX designer, and 𝗏𝗂𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏 as our developer. So now let's dive into our product. Meet Healie, a community-driven platform that connects women in tech through shared goals, activities, and mutual support. Our mission is to empower women in tech to sustain their careers and well-being through fun, community-driven habit challenges, helping them stay motivated, reflect, and know they are not alone. Women in tech face high level of burnout. By age 35, 50% leave the industry, which is 45% more than men. To understand this better, we conducted user research across different career stages. Through user research across multiple career stages, we found that while challenges differ, there's a common pain point, a lack of connection and support from people who truly understand their experience. Other women in tech, whether they're just starting, juggling work and family, or in senior position, they often face this pressure alone. Today's solution don't fully address this need. Counseling apps are expensive and too heavy. Habit trackers are generic and repetitive. There are many communities, but they are more about networking, not safe spaces to share struggles. Healie addresses this gap with 3 principles. First, social connection, a place to share concerns and experiences with a community of women in tech who truly understand. Healie is designed for emotional safety and support, not performance. Peer-driven motivation. Users can contribute and read each other's reflection, creating a supportive and encouraging environment. Lastly, low-pressure design. Healie is intentionally not about tricks or perfection. Challenges are small, optional, and designed to feel therapeutic, not stressful. So how do we turn this principle into an actual product? We focus our MVP on 3 core features. Our MVP includes challenges, small, actionable, habit-building activities, daily journaling, guided prompt for reflection, connect and reflect, optionally share experience and lead anonymous peer insight for support. Now our UX designer Janice will walk us through key insights from our user research, how those insights shape the product and the design decision that followed.
Hi, everybody. I'm the UX designer, Janice. So for our UX research, we had 2 rounds of usability testing. I focused on the task completion rate for both rounds, the error rate, and I used the 5-point Likert scale just to get a general overview of how users felt when using Healie. It was the first round, we did the lo-fi. The second round, we did the mid-fidelity, going into the high fidelity. We focused mainly on the task completion rate to see, a good measure of if our iterations and changes based on user insights was practical and made sense. Around 2, we had over 80%. And with those insights, it led us to making a couple changes. We had so many ideas, but we had to finalize a few things. The main thing was that we started out with 10 tasks and we wanted a streak for each one, but on the dev side and the time constraints, it made more sense to have 5 tasks and the only streak was the login streak for the user. So we definitely revised our nice to have list, and the dev and PM team pointed out that we were missing the support aspect. So we ended up with a community forum section on our website. For the next slide, just to give you an example of how we focus on accessibility and being user-centric with our product, we did like the gradient color, but it wasn't practical to have that in the complete background of the product for the text color and also to have a gradient button. It looked nice, but in terms of color contrast and people's visual limitations, it is a spectrum, so we have to account for that. So we kept the color by keeping it just to the header text and in the footer, and kept the main content of the page white with black text. We also looked at focus indicators, strengthening our brand guidelines to make sure we're really paying attention to accessibility. So you'll see keyboard tabbing later on in the deb demo. For the next slide, just to give a essential summary of the tools we use for this stage, we focused again on the color contrast per web content accessibility guidelines. The dev team was actually the group that taught me more about accessibility when you're using a keyboard, whether it's tabbing or using your mouse to hover over graphical objects and text. I also focused on font hierarchy, so we used different color contrast checkers. The Notion task helped me a lot with staying organized, and there are a lot of sources in there that I used to build out the design side. And with the community forum, we wanted to cover the aspect of not just having challenges, but feeling like you're not the only one going through these challenges that you're trying to complete for the next 30 days. So you can share your journal prompt entries to the community forum. It's anonymous. You can also opt out of sharing the prompts if you don't want to share your thoughts on the platform. And with that, it will take us to the dev team and their demo.
Hey, hi everyone, I'm Magali. I hope everyone can see my screen. So as Janice mentioned, we focused a lot on accessibility, so I'm gonna demo using tab navigation. So this is the home page, and then the user can sign up either in the nav bar, log in, or in the hero section. So press enter, and then the user can put in their email, and we have real-time validation for the password as well. So once they reach the requirements, then they will show green. The user can also see their password and then tab over to complete their sign up. Once they are signed up, they will go to an onboarding page where they can select some of their concerns as a reminder of why they're on the app. And for this project, we created it using React, Tailwind CSS for styling, and we also integrated Google Cloud Firestore for the database. So once the user presses next, then they will store the information in Firestore. They'll end up at an empty state dashboard, which will change to full state once they start a detox challenge. So the user can press and decide to choose whatever is interesting for them. So we're going to choose read a book and the journal entry and press save. This normally takes them to a page with all the available challenges. I'm just going to quickly go back and show that because the user has stored their selected challenges, then we have the dashboard pop up. So in the detox challenge page, we're going to go to the daily entry. And as you notice, there are tags based off of the concerns that we saw in the user onboarding. So we'll go ahead and click. And what's cool about this is that there's a progress bar for each challenge that's going to update dynamically. And there's a button here where it'll automatically open up the day that the user has to complete. So we have day 1, and we'll just do a little test. So hat rest. The user can save their entry, which will also go to the Firestore database, and then they can choose to either opt out of sharing their response in the community forum anonymously. So they'll save the entry, and then they'll go to the community forum, and this is the question for day 1. So they'll click it. And as you notice, we have the response here. Let's say the user wants to go back and fix or opt out of sharing in the community forum. They'll just go back to day 1, click it, and then they'll opt out. And then if we go back to the community forum, then their response is gone. This is from another test. Another cool thing is that when you go back to the dashboard, what they've completed will dynamically update based off the Firestore data. So it'll serve as a reminder for continuing on with the challenges. We have a profile page, which is taking the email that the user signed up with and their password, as well as their onboarding selections, which was made possible with Firestore. And then we also worked really hard on making things responsive. So I'm just going to quickly inspect. As you notice, we have a hamburger menu for all of the options here. So we'll just go back to detox challenge. And then the user can simply just log out, and they'll get a cute little logout screen. One of the things that we really worked hard on as a dev team that we're proud of is just our ability to manage a lot of the different aspects of the dev process through detailed PR descriptions and communicating with each other to resolve merge conflicts. So we're really proud of the work that we're able to complete. And I'll pass it back over to Jan.
Okay, so looking ahead, here's our product roadmap. For the first quarter, we will start by adding 4 new challenges. These are just initial concepts, and we plan to continuously expand challenges over time to keep the platform engaging. Next, we will introduce tailored prompts and a personalized dashboard. This will help users discover relevant challenges and receive prompts that make journaling more meaningful. And finally, in the third quarter, we will add a reward system, including badge and recognition, to encourage continued participation and long-term engagement. Overall, this roadmap supports structured growth from early adoption to long-term engagement, while staying true to our low-pressure and supportive experience for Women in Tech. So that concludes our pitch. Healie empowers women in tech to build healthy habits, share experiences safely, and feel supported through a low-pressure, peer-driven community. Thank you, and we are happy to answer your question.